Are you hungry? I mean, are you really hungry? What is this hunger that drives us? You know, it occurred to me that a lot of my issues are right under my own tongue, my own nose. And that if I pay attention to the tongue orientation, the pressure there, and the vacuum that I'm creating, I'll actually start to draw my essences. Meaning I feel clearer, more contained, stronger, because I'm connected, you see. The best way to move Kung Fu wise is to move with the breath and not holding it, but just like it flows, like your body is opening and closing, moving. So if we move like beings like that, then we go beyond the mind. Then there's no system to follow. You see, I'm convinced that until we start liberating our spine and getting it free and open, and that's a yoga swing back there, you get on one of those swings and that will change your life. Absolutely. You know, you can hang and move your body in 3 dimensions and have pleasure in any way, shape, or form, and it's aerobatic, easy yoga. And I invented that over 20 years ago. But I live a simple life now, and it's a challenge living simply because everyone is so far out of touch. You know, when's the last time you actually touched your food? You actually, no. Excuse me. When's the last time you actually went out into the garden and picked your fruit? Yeah, bullshit. This is a coconut tree. Lots of coconuts today. Lots of coconuts. And the threshold of your being is when you can be in nature and it challenges you. We're all challenging nature to where it's all paved and quiet and perfect and serene. We killed nature. Nature is about going out and being challenged by your environment and having it talk to you. Having you communicate to your environment. And that's the Zen way, the Zen path. So I'm into making coconut ice cream today. So if you're around, you should really come around and have some, because if I make this every 2 or 3 days, I mean, we all love to eat. I mean, we're orally fixated. So why not eat something that's going to blow your mind? Something that is high in fat, tasty, free, and it just takes the time to just actually, I'm taking off the skin that's on the interior of these coconuts, because it's got a lot of its own stuff on it. But you take this out, it blends up way more sweet and soft rather than kind of fibrous. You gotta take the fiber off. See, everything takes a little bit of work, but what's interesting is the gratification. When I hand somebody some fresh ice cream that I make, so I make this at least twice a week. You blow people's minds, because who doesn't want something satisfying, sweet, wet, cold on a hot day, right? It's getting hot now, so don't you think my ice cream will be like, yeah, it's worth a lot. It's a lot of work, and it's worth a lot, but it's gratifying. Because look, all it took was a knife, getting up in the tree, bringing this down, pouring out the water, and now I'm making water. I'm making kefir. Yeah, I'm making kefir water, which is supposed to be really good for you. I mean, like, I just drank some. It's like drinking this funny stuff. It's like drinking lemon juice for some reason. It's very acidic, but I'm experimenting with it. So you take coconut water, and you let it sit for 4 days with a little bit of honey, and I think it could be healing. We'll see. Probably cause more inflammation than anything. You know, anything with sugar in it. Sugar is such an issue for all of us now. It was for me growing up, but I mean, you get older and then you can really feel what inflammation is. So, what to do in Kathmandu? You ever thought about that? What do you really need? And what are you doing here, for crying out loud? Yeah, don't be distracted by my hat. This is my Merlin hat, made of coconut fiber. Same tree, actually. Same tree that I made the hat with. I harvested the tree. Actually, I didn't. It was right nearby. But the point being is, Jungle Joe Zen, CocoNutter Zen, has a question for you. What are you really doing here? I sit and meditate, and I'm like, oh shit. If I really ask that, it's to seek bliss. To seek your own inner engagement at what feels right, at what feels fun, what feels like entertaining. So, having friends, oh, there he is. Having friends around is really cool because you can reflect. I've been out here alone the last couple of days, and I've been reflecting, and I kind of get into the space of nobody home, you know? I get in these spaces where nothing matters. So, let's talk about, what do you really need? Ever thought about that? You're going into a store and you're like, what did I come in here for? But what did you really need in the first place? I mean, they make all these concoctions, none of which was sitting around here in the 1900s. And it's as if we buy these things because we need them. They're all replacements for the basic things, like a broom, a basic broom, and the replacement of all this stuff that breaks, plastic and problems. I mean, we shouldn't even be drinking out of a plastic or even an aluminum can ever. These are tastes that they've given to us at a cheap price, but a heavy cost on you and the planet. Don't you see it? I mean, we're all the criminals right now. If you really look at it, what do you really need? You look around yourself. Isn't your life padded with all these things? Mine's padded with hats now. I mean, okay, all right. My hats are my little thing, but you know, we all have to have a thing, and we all have to wear clothes, kind of, sort of, but only because everyone else is reinforcing that stupid idea. It's a business ploy. It's basically to sell more clothes as you make it illegal to be nude. And they get people scared and fucked up and give them religion. I mean, I'm just telling you guys, we got to just think about everything and just see it's all black. It's the same color of the highway, black. It's all just a dark place, and Satan lives here and runs a fucking show. But not to participate with Satan in a way that you walk with him, like he's your best friend, you know? You know what he knows, because he knows all the secret places. He knows how to manipulate everybody. And we've all been manipulated. We've all been hoodwinked. So look around your house. What do you really need in that house? How many plates do you have? How many bowls? Start with bowls. Who'd have had a bowl? One bowl. How many fucking bowls do we have? Okay, I see about 6 over here, but you know what? I only use one. So is it an insanity? I'm going to ask you, because I don't have to wave out my PhD and my pedigree and my universal science understanding of consciousness and how it blesses us out and blesses us, or we just reject it. And I'm going to tell you right now that get your act together, mofo, because there's a lot that we're missing. So I'm asking you to quit everything. Quit your job, quit your ideas, get rid of your car, maybe actually have somebody use your car just like you're using it, and car share. But no, it's like back to the jungle, baby, or else we're all going to die. That's it. Isn't it interesting that in one generation, out of the hundreds of thousands of years that humans have been here, literally 20, 40 years, they kicked ass on this fucking planet to where it's choking. I mean, come on. I was in environmental sciences, when I was 20 years old, and I was learning about our frickin' environment back then, and they were saying Louisiana eventually will be flooding because the levees will break. They were telling me the future, and I was like, I don't know. We watch it right before our eyes, and we're watching it still. And they're still giving us the fucking news, but not, see, here's the thing. They tell you the news, but they don't tell you what to do after the news to direct us, to give us any idea where to go forward. They always leave you confused. See, that's the thing. They give you the news, but they don't say, well, the reason we're, not the reason, we're fighting this war, and they say, well, actually, we don't need to do it. If we just paid a little more for the oil, we could just get it and be done with it. They never give you the answer. There's never a firm decision or goal. There's really no leader. Take me to your leader. There is no leader. We need the leader. I mean, who it is and how do we function is by a divine, I should say, principle. A principle of what we're aspiring to in Jesus' name. Jesus is on the inhale, not the exhale. Jesus. See, this is how we are, again, we're ripped off, people. I'm telling you. You know, if you really value the Christ that you walk in, you should be taking the breath of the Lord in every moment. And you miss a moment, you're in your mind, and you're lost at sea. And you might as well be dead, because you're all dead. Once you get a birth certificate, they own you. You're no longer a free man or a free woman. They own us. This place is really fucked up. We gotta just have to change some things. So I'm calling out for the tribe. I'm actually calling out for motherfuckers who are tired of being the motherfuckers and saying, hey man, I want to be on this side of the fence because this one ain't grooving. Well look, we're gonna struggle, but we'll struggle together. We may not be shopping, but we'll be exciting, living the life of the lost boys, the lost tribe of Israel. That's right. I am the lost tribe of Israel. We are all patriarchs and avatars, divine beings, whatever we can think of. We are, but they try to keep us boxed and reinforce. What's your name? Where you from? Fuck all that shit. Stick that crap up your ass. Where are you from? How can we help each other? You know, every address is the wrong address. You see that? As soon as you pick up the phone, what do you say? I didn't hear you louder. Hello. So we immediately send people to hell before we even know their fucking name. I'm not into people's names. Actually, names are a lie. I'm not into vibrations. Okay, vibrations, yes. And how do you get your better vibrations? You're out in nature, motherfucker. And you're eating live raw food. Amazing. And they're sitting around a fire. You see, aren't you over the same old, same old? Why aren't you quitting your job? I mean, you shouldn't even be following or listening to me unless you listen to me and do a few of the things I'm telling you. I may not have a long motherfucking beard, but I'm older than that. Aren't you? You know? We gotta get creative with ourselves, guys. We really frickin' do. You know, we're missing out on everything. We're literally missing out on everything because somebody else controls us just a little bit. And that's fucked up. I don't like to be controlled by any motherfucker because I'm here to serve everyone. Actually, I'm here to serve you some ice cream. I could be sitting on my ass meditating right now, but I tell you, it's actually kind of fun to just cut the things and peel them all. I mean, look at this. This is what I did. Just sitting here rapping with you. I've done all this, and I tell you, when I'm done making it, and I get to try it after it's all frothy and smooth and blended, I'm telling you, this is the stuff we crave. You ever think about that? Sometimes you're thinking about what would be the best thing I could eat. Sometimes we'll think a cup of half and half mixed with some honey. I know that sounds really rich, but doesn't that sound kind of really good? Really rich milk with honey. Well, that's what a lot of people eat with sugar or whatever, but that's what this is kind of like, is the excitement of, oh my gosh, I'm eating pure white cream. And it's pudding. It's more like pudding. You know, it's pudding. Yummy. Yummy for my tummy. Super healthy. Can't get this in the stores. Actually, can't get anything good in the stores. You know, you may not know this, but you know, as soon as it goes in a box, you lose the vital force. Meaning you're eating food to get energy or whatever. Most people eat for flavor now. They don't even fucking care what's in it. It just, if it tastes good, fuck it. If it don't, you know, throw it away. Check it. When you eat this, your brain goes, what is going on here? So, here's the other identification of why I know boxing, food, produce, and shipping it don't work. I used to live out in the orange fields in Ojai. I'd go out there and fast and just live on oranges and sunlight and just drinking my own urine and splashing around in the water in the hot springs. So I was pretty blissed out. I was high as can be without anything. I don't believe in actually using any drugs. I feel that your body feels better naturally. So be as natural as possible is your goal. You know, the natural high is the best high. Meaning no pot, no nothing, just ah. Just like, hey, complete ah. So where I'm going with all this is that to be in the ah state is where we want to go. We're just like, oh my God, I have a body and I don't have any desires. I'm not hungry. I don't thirst. So that's where meditation goes. And see, you can stay there as long as you want if you know where to orientate your tongue. And that's why I'm here to help people, is to bring them back to the power of your bodies and your tongue. You know? So your tongue power, your tongue needs to be rolled back, far back. And not that in this moment I'm going to spend much time with it, because it requires you to pull your tongue back and draw on your saliva forever. Okay. There. Practice that and you'll go far, young Luke Skywalker. And so, anyways, life is this journey of getting lost and forgetting. You see, that's what it, I think, is about, is we forget. So, you hear the birds? Pretty quiet out here. But these are the end of moments, people. I mean, the days aren't even days anymore. They're just everything's all messed up. So why don't you just take time to watch the sunsets as if they're your last? You know, what if this whole world had a worldwide movement where we just all become strikers and we didn't work anymore? We didn't work until we absolutely had to, right? Now there you go. It's like, I don't like to move until the water, you replace it when it's ready. You know, it's like, you don't need to water plants until they absolutely need it. Same thing with us. We don't need to actually eat until we absolutely need to eat. It's like, give up everything and then pick up where you left off if you really need it. Does that make a lot of sense? Makes pennies to me. That's like money in the bank when you know that I don't need to spend anything. I just need to be happy with the right people, and then I won't be buying or want to buy so much shit, you know, to distract myself. You ever thought about that, what it takes to go shopping? You know, between getting in the car and then driving to the fucking place, and 3 hours later you finally got that little plastic product in the box and you're looking at it at home like, is that what I did all fucking day or half the day just to get this little piece of crap? And I'm looking at you look at it like, I did. What kind of mystery? Why would I allow myself to do that? Well, I've looked around. Everyone else is doing it. So you kind of fall asleep. You see, ooh, that's deep stuff. Whoa, the Zen, that's off the hook. That's too deep. You just broke and blew my shit, my whole life to smithereens, if you actually saw it that way. You took half the day to go get this thing that was so important that you couldn't live without. Yet, a year ago, 10 years ago, it wasn't even on your radar. It's because they throw this shit at you, and then inside there's a part of us that feels a little empty, and it plays with that side in us. You see, don't be tortured by this fucking world. That's why Satan is your best friend, if you really think about it. If you really think about it, I'm your best friend. The things that I point out and that make you feel like a little uncomfortable, I mean, like, oh God, I don't know if I can sit on that one, Zen. You gotta sit on it. Either now or tomorrow. It's gonna happen. The boats and the ships and the planes are going to eventually stop. And you're going to be sitting there going, talking to creatures like this because you're fucking got your head up your ass. So don't keep your head there. Get it out of your ass and start living. Quit your job. Tell me you're done. Tell me you're done with this fucking world, the money system. Be a vagabond. Be hopeless and homeless. Because actually, the homes are everywhere. See, when you're from the bird tribe, which I'm from the bird tribe, we don't want a home. We don't want a place. Those places, they're tombs. They're mortuaries for the dead. Houses, it entombs you guys. It doesn't make you better. It's like, sure, it keeps you away from the bugs and this and that, but you actually want to be in nature. That's how you heal. You ever notice that you sometimes don't get better living in your apartment, your house? You just don't, but you go camping one day and like, oh my God. Well, we all forget. You see, we forget how important nature is for us to heal from all this congestion and problems sleeping and inflammation and Wi-Fi going while we sleep. You see, when you sleep, you really need to just die. So it's a way of death. See, when I sleep, it's a way of death. It's a way of, fuck this world, I'm done, hopefully I won't wake up, and if I do, it'll be better than when I went to sleep. Because this world is fucked up. There are times where I would sleep all day. Why get the fuck up? I mean, who am I getting up for? And I didn't need to eat, and nobody to dress me, and no place to go. Shit, go back to fucking bed. Now, that's really what I like to do, is just forget this world. And then this world becomes a dream. Because when you live the dream, then there's no stress. You see how the equation? You see, I'm actually introducing you to a high-developed science that I've actually refined because that's my job. My mom says I don't work enough. I don't work at all. I'm Dr. Doolittle. I'm your doctor giving you permission to do as little as possible and rest. And just be like, oh, thank you, Zen. What else can I do? Take a hot tub. Take a hot tub and then do a sauna and then a cold shower and repeat it twice or 3 times and then tell me how you feel. That's the kind of clinic I like to run, people. That's the kind of clinic. You know, I did my solar sweat today. That's right, sweat my ass off for an hour. An hour and a half in the sun. So what I did is I built a clear, see-through plastic box, and it took me 10 minutes with clear plastic, and I sweat in there. It gets really hot. I sweat. Do some yoga breathing. Can you see? See, I'm almost looking like a refugee. No, I'm looking much thinner because I do these sweats every day. And I advise people, if they're going to follow anything on my path, you got to do what I do. Because unless you sweat every day, unless I sweat every day, the founder of the Zen religion, the Zen path, then what you do is you sweat as much as you can. Because when you can get over sweating, nothing's hot. It's a hot day for others, and you're like, hey, turn up the frickin' heat. You know, you want to be elastic, and you want to be able to defy temperature. So then you do a cold bath, and then you go back in the hot sauna, and you do that every day, and you really feel awesome. Like your whole day is surrounded around the ritual of dying. Surrounded around letting go a layer of skin. So talk about how good it is. Well, actually, you're not better than me. I'm better than you. Okay, I bet you. Now, see, I'm going to bet you because I know that after you sweat, you feel a ton lighter, meaning I just sweat fucking 3 pounds, okay, of water. You didn't. So you have 3 more pounds of water than I do, right? I'm serious. This is no bullshit. Until you start sweating every day and see it as a ritual, not like, oh, I'll take time for it if I have time. No, fuck that shit. Your day revolves around you getting that sweat. And when I don't sweat by noon, if the sun, I'm like, wait, is the sun going to be out? Is the sun coming out? I'm like waiting for the sun to heat my box to get my ass in there and sweat my balls. Because when you sweat balls, you feel way better during the day. Like I was out in the jungle after my sweat, and I was like an extra stride, an extra motion of stride. You see, that's why my body moves differently than other people's, is because the breath literally is a captive part of my breathing with the bones. I call it bone breathing. What is bone breathing? Well, what is brain breathing? This is the process of what I call the Zen path. And brain breathing is just when you breathe into the top of your head, you pull through the top of your head, the air, you feel the pressure in your ears, and you know that shit's happening because it feels really good, and you follow how good it feels. Meaning, you actually try to make it feel so good that all you want to do is brain breathe. Wow, that's deep, Zen. That's too deep. Well, if you did this once, instead of criticizing me and going, that's a little too eccentric, I'm an eccentric motherfucker. That's all I can say. I used to climb walls as a kid. My mom used to beat me up because I was too wild. She should have just put me out in the garden and said, play with the monkey, play in the trees, and I would have been great. She just was conditioned. She didn't know how to condition me for my environment. So I grew up in a pretty fucked up world. So now I see you don't play enough either. That's right, you don't play enough, you don't breathe enough, you don't actually challenge yourself enough. And I'm challenging you to breathe through the top of your head and try it a few times a day or more and live a little instead of dying into Jesus is the way. And once you understand that it's the way, there's no other way, then your breath will begin with G, E, and end with thus. Easy equation. I don't need to make it any simpler. You can't fuck this one up. So if you got to take another breath, you might as well start with E, 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 thus. And always end with sus. And the sus is longer than the G. Because when you equate it, it's 1/3 to 2/3. So you fill yourself with Yee, and then so it's 2-part breath. Who can fuck this one up? I want to see you try it. I've been doing it for years. And what I'll do is I'll exhale my mind, my breath, my belly, exhale. Everything's out. And then I begin with Yee, Yee, and I'll hold that. And you hold it, and hold it. And see, you want actually the breath to express itself. You want it to expand. You want it to open things up. See, people take these small sips and that don't do shit. And so they spend their entire life not knowing shit because their breath is non-apparent. You ever talk to somebody and you're like, did they even breathe the whole time? Because people are like, they're just barely alive. I'm talking taking breaths, people like, it's like that's your last freaking breath. And you hold it. Okay, I'm going to break it out. I'm going to cut your nuts off unless you really get this one. Because I'm telling you, everything I share is so valid that, okay, here's my story. It's going to drop the bomb and say, okay, I'll do it. I gave a class based on all this breath work for 2 hours. We would breathe. And the woman said to me, that was the most amazing class. You blew my mind. It was just so exciting to blow my mind and with the breath. But you know what? I was at my mother's deathbed. And you know, she did what we've been doing the last 2 hours on her last breath. I go, really? Is that? I never heard that. And she goes, yes. Her last breath was like, and the third one was, and she was gone. And it was in that class that I put it together. That what I'm doing is so amazingly, prolifically potent that you will want to tell others about it. In Jesus' name. You don't have to tell anybody about Jesus. You just need to remember it, Jesus, in a way that reminds you by touching a place inside your own being. Now try that. As simple as can be. Jesus. And you hit it in the back of your brain. And when you get it right, people, you're never going to go back to the way you breathe. You'll just be like, those are like shallow, guppy breaths, you know? I'm talking to you. Hold it. Feel it. Let it sink. Open, expand. Raise. Cultivate. Sink. And see what I mean. Yeah. Ooh. I could extend holding that for whatever time of that I wanted. We are attempting to open the cage, a prison of the thorax cage, the breath of the ribs, so that you liberate the breath to extend itself forever. There's a goal in all this, and if the goal is met, you will feel a certain drawing. So sit and seek, my friends. Thanks for listening. There's more when you settle for nothing less than to be close to what I share with you in a way where it wakes and reminds you of who you are, because I don't like weak people, and I don't like the way our situation of the world is. So we need to wake up, and we do it through raising ourselves in the spirit of the breath. Thanks for being inspired. Breathe deeper and more, and be enlarged to where you are literally floating on air. And come out and hang out with me sometime if you want to understand the coconut diet and start to get really clear with your intentions and your clarity of your immune system in a way where you're wanting to breathe with me. Aloha. Reach out.